The most important responsibility for you using this calendar is to make sure that you don't break the chain of X's. Hey fam, how are you doing today? Welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Tobi Achudume. Today we're going to be looking at 5 productivity methods or systems that could help you to boost your productivity going forward in the year. If this is your first time here, you're super welcome. I'm so glad to have you. Do not forget to hit the subscribe button so you get notified when we have new videos up and you become a part of this happy space. We're all about growing to be the best versions of ourselves. Okay, let's get into today's topic. What are productivity systems first? They are practices, guidelines, or tools that we use to help ourselves be more productive and more efficient. Now, there are so many productivity systems that we have in the world today. And I'm only going to be focusing on 5 because I don't want to overwhelm you. And I'm also sieving through to make sure that what I'm bringing to you is actually helpful and doable for you. You can practice it and see results. And number 1 is the Ivy Lee method. And Ivy Lee was a consultant. He was a public relations advisor who worked for many large corporations in the time past, I think in the 80s or something. So he used this method for another successful business owner, and the business owner at that time paid him $25,000, which right now would be about $400,000 with inflation and all of the things that's happened to money. $400,000. So it's an expensive method that I'm sharing with you first. Okay, so what this method included is that at the end of each work day, what you do is you write down 6 things that you want to achieve. Only 6 things that you want to accomplish by the next day. So in my last video, I told us that we have so many tasks and responsibilities that you want to achieve by the end of the day. So having only 6 kind of already puts a constraint on what you need to do. So it says to write 6 most important things the night before that you want to accomplish in the next day. And so the second step is to prioritize these 6 things that you want to achieve based on importance, not based on how you want to do them. So you know how you have a list of many things that you want to do, and there is one that is very important, but that's the one you don't want to do. Then there is one that is not very important, and that's the one that you're excited about doing. Yeah, it says to prioritize them based on importance, not how you feel. Next step is that when you wake up the next day to actually start working on this thing, you start from point 1. So you don't again change your mind. You start working from task 1, you focus on the first task, and you make sure that you complete it while you're focused on it. Yeah, so you focus on your first task until it is done, then you can take a break and then you pick the next one. So you're working on this task based on the order that you have set them. You're not going around looking for what to do. You know exactly what you need to do. Obviously, after this, you continue like that until you get to task 6. And if you do not complete task 6 on the day, so say you did not finish, one of the tasks took longer than you expected it to take, then you're going to, again that night, make the list for the next day, starting with these tasks that you did not complete this day. So in practical sense, if you make a list for Monday and Sunday for the things that you want to do, when you're making your list on Monday night for Tuesday, you're starting with the things that you did not complete on Monday the day for Tuesday the morning. So this is the Ivy Lee method, and I think it's a very important method. Why is it important? Because it is very simple to do. All you're doing is making a list. You're just making your list restricted to a number of 6 things that you want to do. And so when you do this, it forces you to make tough decisions of which task do I want to do on Monday? Which one do I want to do on Tuesday? You don't feel like you have the luxury of making a lot of choices. No, you're making your choice on one day, and that choice is what you're going to face the next day. Another reason why this is also effective is that it improves your focus, because you know that I can't move on to the next task if I don't finish this task right now. So it improves your focus on things. You're able to strain or to work your focus and make sure that it helps you to achieve what you need to achieve. A lot of people have short attention span. This method is going to improve your attention span because you have to complete your task before you move to the next one. Number 2 productivity system I'm going to share is the Eisenhower matrix. And I'm sure you're familiar with this one. It's a square of 4 quadrants where you have important, urgent, not urgent, non-important, urgent, not urgent. And so with this one, it helps you to categorize your responsibility based on importance and urgency. So this matrix is a prioritization technique that helps you to focus on the things that you need to focus on. Okay, so let's go ahead to explain what these are. So when you have important tasks that are urgent, then these are tasks that already have deadlines. So for example, you need to complete a client project, you need to finish up a presentation or a proposal for work. This is important task that is also urgent because there is a deadline to it. It has a clear deadline that you must meet. So you also have important and not urgent, and these are ones that you can schedule because they don't have deadlines. And the thing with tasks that has no deadlines is that you can very quickly begin to procrastinate them. So what you need to do is to schedule them so that you do not now procrastinate on them. But it's not urgent today, that means you don't have to do it right now. But when you schedule it, it then becomes urgent for the day that it has been scheduled for. When you have not important but urgent tasks, these are tasks that you can delegate. So for example, there are responsibilities that they don't need your own skill, your personal skill. They could contribute to the success of your activity or your presentation or your project, but it's not something that you have to do. So these tasks you can delegate to someone else, so you have time to focus on the important and urgent things. So an example of this could be uploading a blog post or responding to emails. The fourth quadrant, which is for not urgent and not important, you could just let them go. You could just delete them because they're not important and they're not urgent. So what are they doing on your list? So this could just be distractions that you would want to feel good about. So you don't have to do them at a specific time, and you also don't have to do them. So for example, scrolling through Instagram or scrolling through social media, you don't have to do it. You do this for leisure. So take that out of the things that you want to do at important or productive hours of the day and keep them for when you feel like, yeah, you have time to play or to rest. The third productivity system I'm going to share with you, I absolutely love this one. I actually love all of it because I have used all of these things at that particular periods. Number 3 is time blocking and deep work. Yeah. So this one I'm still using right now just because it has been very effective for me. And this is why I'm also giving you many options, so 5 options, so that you can see which one works best for you and the kind of life that you have and the kind of productivity that you're pursuing. So if you want to be able to sit down and focus on block times, then you probably want to try time blocking and deep work. So what this is that it breaks your work sessions into blocks of time, and you can focus on deep work in these different blocks of time. So for example, with me, my block work of time is from 7 to 9, I'm doing something and I'm focused on that particular thing until it's done. From 10 to 12, I'm focused on something. And then you have lunch break, and then from 1:30 to 5, you're focused on something. From 6 to 7, you're focused on something. So having blocks of time helps you to focus on deep work by the time that you're focused on. So your blocks of time could be you starting your day from 9 o'clock. So that means from 9 to 12, you're focused on one thing. From 12 to 2, you're focused on one thing. So you understand blocking of time. So putting hours together to do things. You can decide on what your block of time is going to be. If it's going to be 30 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hours, 5 hours. I don't advise that because you will get tired in it. But you're able to then be creative with your block of time and how much break you also want to have. Remember that we're working towards productivity. So don't have a block work of time of 2 hours and your break is 3 hours. Doesn't work. Doesn't make sense. So your block of work could be 25 minutes like the Pomodoro technique, or could be 90 minutes like Tobi's technique. Doing this helps you to focus on particular tasks and responsibilities. Also prevents burnout, brain fog, tiredness, exhaustion, distractions, so many things that it helps you to avoid. And so there are different variations to this. There is one task batching. There is one, it's called task batching. And task batching is when you group identical activities or identical tasks together to complete in a particular block of time. So this could be, I will respond to emails between 10 o'clock and 11 o'clock. So everything about emails, work emails, personal emails, maybe messages as well, you're going to reply to all of these between 10 o'clock and 11 a.m. Another variation of this is day theming. So day theming is, for Mondays, I'm going to work on content creation. On Tuesdays, I'm going to edit all of my vlogs. On Wednesdays, I'm going to send out proposals for partnerships or collaborations. On Thursdays, I'm going to respond to emails. On Fridays, I'm going to upload or schedule my videos for the week or something. So day theming is you having something that you're focused on, and I've just used the content creators calendar to do that. But day theming is you focusing on a particular thing for each day. Another variation is time boxing, and time boxing emphasizes your deadlines. So time boxing, which is different from task batching, is you putting deadlines with your time blocks. So time boxing, an example of this would be, I'm going to finish this article between 9 and 12. So that means your responsibility between 9 and 12 is to complete an article. Using time blocks and deep work is very effective because it helps you to knock out shallow work during the important times that you want to work on. So you're not thinking of responding to Instagram DMs when you're supposed to be concentrating on a particular task, because it helps you to knock out shallow work and helps you to focus again. All of these productivity systems help you to focus. They improve your focus, your concentration on important things that you need to focus on. So number 4 is the daily trifecta system. Erin on Demand, she's also a content creator and a businesswoman, calls this the top 3 methods. That's our own twist to what this is. And this system aims to make your goals simpler to achieve and more organized, because you're focused on only 3 things that you want to focus on. So the Ivy League method helps you to work on 6 things by the day, but with that one, you can move things from one day to the next day. The daily 3, the trifecta method, helps you to work on only 3 things, and those 3 things must be completed in that day. So with the daily trifecta, you're focused on working on 3 things. So you're setting your intentions for the day. You could do this the night before or the morning of, and you're working on only 3 things that you must achieve. So you're thinking of the 3 most important responsibilities or the 3 most important tasks that you must complete in a day, and that's what you're going to be focused on. So this method, the daily trifecta, helps you to figure out the most important task for you each day. It also helps you to identify the potential barriers to achieving these things, because when you know that you only have 3 things that you need to work on, you're also thinking, oh, this is going to be a distraction and this is going to be a distraction as well. So while it is helping you to identify the 3 most important things, it also helps you to identify your potential barriers, things that will stop you from achieving these things that you need to achieve. So kind of like the Ivy League method, it also puts a restraint on the activities that you want to work on, and that makes you to realize that you have 24 hours to figure out how to deal with only 3 things. When you know that at the back of your mind, it is going to propel you to do the work that you need to do. Now, the daily trifecta, which is only 3 methods, seems like it's going to be a minute list of things to tackle each day. But when you look at it in the sense of you're looking at it as whole themes of things that you want to work on, then you know that it's not just 3 things that you're working on. So for example, it could be, I want to complete this project. Completing that project may mean that you're speaking to people, you're doing a Google research, you're doing networking and all of this. You are going to have to do all of these things as well. Number 5 is the Seinfeld calendar system. And this one just seemed very funny to me, but actually makes a lot of sense. So Seinfeld is Jerry Seinfeld, the comedian. And he had an interview. Again, he was having a conversation with Brad Isaac, a software developer, and Brad Isaac shared this encounter with the world, and he said he asked him how he was able to sustain being a successful comedian and an advice for an upcoming comic. And this is what Jerry Seinfeld told him. He said, write every day. And I'm like, you know what? I actually used this to complete my thesis. Like, make sure you write every day. Let a day not go by that you don't do this thing, because my goal was to complete that thesis. So that was my assignment, to make sure that I write every day. And so Seinfeld explains how this was an important and motivating system, like a motivating calendar system. So this system works with a big wall calendar. So you have a big calendar that you can see all of the days of the year. So your calendar has 365 or 366 days on it. And so for each day, when you have your main goal that you're working on, so you have that one goal at the top of the calendar. For Seinfeld, it was to write every day. At the end of each day, when he had completed this task, he would put a big red cross on the calendar. With this system, over time, it's like you're tracking an habit. So like you have habit trackers. I have a habit tracker, and on my habit tracker, the fact that I see a chain of X's that I have done this thing, when it is 11:30 p.m. and I haven't done this task, I am running to do it because I mustn't break the chain. And so Senfit says that the most important responsibility for you using this calendar is to make sure that you don't break the chain of X's. So it uses red because you can't miss red. And red signifies a lot of things. I'm about to say red is danger. But it signifies a lot of things, and you don't want to break the chain and then start the chain again. And so with this, you are able to it's a motivating factor on its own. It's a motivator on its own. The fact that you just see X's 1 to 50 and then on 51 you're about to break it, you remind yourself not to, because you are not about to start this journey again. This is actually an interesting calendar system to use. My only problem with this particular one is that you can only do one goal with it, because like how many calendars do you want to now have up on your wall? But if you have like a major goal, so I need to work on a book, I need to complete this book by this day, it works for specific goals. You have one goal for the year, it helps you to work on that. So for me, it worked for me when I was working on my thesis, because I had to write every day. I had to do something every day. Well, I didn't have to write every day, but I had to do something on my thesis every day. So that could be research, edit an article, send an email to my supervisor or something. So when you have one major goal that you're working on, this system absolutely the best for you. So these are 5 productivity systems that you can start using today, and I hope that you're going to pick one of it to use to help you to be a more productive person going forward. So like I said at the start, there are so many other systems that you can use, and over time I will be bringing some of these systems to you so you can see and just choose which one works best for you. I know that it could be overwhelming to decide on what works best, and so in the next video I'm going to be sharing with you how to choose the productivity system that works best for you. I hope that you will join me with that video. Do not forget to subscribe. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, share with your friends and family, leave a comment in the comment section if you're already using any of these productivity systems, or you have one that you're using that we haven't talked about. I love to see them. Thank you so much for watching this video. Do not forget to share with your friends and family, and till next time, I will catch you guys later.